So recently I got a PC. Video comes to that later on. And I thought, you know what, George? Let's review the parts of those PC and maybe give your viewers kind of like view like what they can buy if they only have a budget of $1,000. But what if they have a lower budget and only want to upgrade things? Or what if they're like, yo, like I don't like that stuff. I want to get other stuff, but I have no idea on what to buy. Now let me tell you one thing. I would highly recommend you going to a website that has a PC configurator, putting all those parts together, and if this configurator has one special thing, it needs to put together and only needs to show you the stuff that actually fits together, okay? But if you want to do it yourself and be like, yo, like I want to like get everything from Amazon and then bring over a buddy and build it with him, then this is the right video for you, because I will give you an overview of what actually fits together and what not fits together. Because a PC is something, like building it is not complicated, but choosing the parts can be a pain in the ass. And imagine that, postman arrives, you get your new parts, you rip them apart, blah, 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 blah. Your buddy comes over and boom, nothing fits together. Nothing works. You have the wrong RAM, you have the wrong CPU, you have the wrong motherboard, and you have the wrong graphics card. What are you going to do? Huh? Tell me. Huh? What are you going to do? For this, that video comes. And now, let's start. So, the first thing we have to talk about is the CPU, the Central Processing Unit. Whoops. The thing is, the CPU, with Intel, there is like, dude... With Intel, there's like a huge amount of CPUs there. We have Haswell, we have Skylake, we have Kaby Lake, we have all those different, all those different architectures. And the thing is that, except Skylake and Kaby Lake, like they don't really fit together. Like because Skylake has a 40 nanometers architecture. And like a Skylake CPU won't fit into a Haswell motherboard. So you have to make sure that when you pick your CPU and you pick your motherboard, they're compatible. Okay? Like Skylake, it runs on the LGA 1151 socket. So if you want to get like an i5 6600 or an i7 6700 or an i3, and it's Skylake, you need to have a motherboard that supports LGA 1151. If you get a motherboard that doesn't support that, you probably won't be able to even like have the PC running with that CPU. Okay, that's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Okay, but on to the next thing. It's your CPU cooler. Yeah, that thing must be compatible as well. It's crazy. Okay, the thing is, the most cooler are compatible with a lot of different CPU sockets, like 1151, AM3, AM3 Plus. If you get like the Hyper 212 Evo, you have like, I think it's like compatible with AMD and Intel, and it's compatible over 4 different sockets. So you won't be good with, so we'll be good with that. But what if you want to get something different than that? Like, make sure to like always have a look at what socket it is. Intel, if the CPU socket, or if you're on AMD, you probably will be, if you don't wait for Ryzen, you'll probably be on an AM3 Plus or AM3 socket. So you need to get a cooler that supports AM3 or AM3 Plus. It's crazy, I know. But bear with me, okay? The cool thing about this whole thing is that when you're able to build it together, you know you fixed it, okay? You know you're golden. This video is to help you to know what to buy, okay? So what do we have? We have the motherboard that fits, we have the CPU that fits, and we have a cooler that fits. Now we need to go over to the RAM. And I've heard about so many people buying the wrong RAM, okay? Look. We have 4 different gens of RAM, okay? 4 different generations. We have DDR1, DDR2, which are the most unlikely DDR RAMs you're possibly having right now, okay? We have DDR3 and we have DDR4 RAM, okay? The thing is, they're all different. DDR RAM sticks, they have a little notch cut out in their line down. The thing is that if you buy DDR3 RAM, it will definitely have this notch cut out on another place than a DDR4 motherboard have this notch input. What are you going to do? No, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna. Either way, it's not gonna fit. So if you buy a DDR3 motherboard, you have to buy DDR3 RAM, and if you buy a DDR4 motherboard, you have to buy DDR4 RAM. If that makes sense? Makes sense? Great. Now those were like the key components that you definitely have to look out. A lot of people are scared that if you have a CPU that if you have a GPU that is like PCI Express Generation 3, you can't plug in a PCI Express Generation 2 motherboard. But you can, it's possible, okay? My friend has a Generation 3 graphics card and he plugged it in a Generation 2 PCI Express slot. I would recommend going for Generation 3 PCI Express slot, so you buy a motherboard for Generation 3 PCI Express. But that's on you. That depends on your budget. Like, of course, if you buy lower end hardware, you have to pay less, but you probably ain't gonna get as much FPS as someone who bought like a little bit more. Okay, I would say like you should, if you wanna buy a whole new PC, you should go into the 800 to $1,000. If you wanna play like, if you're like. I have a 1080p monitor. I don't care about like turning down a little bit of the graphics and have like solid 60 FPS. Then that's cool. Like you're probably be gold in the place between 800 and $1,000. Okay. If you're like, yo, I have a 4K monitor and I want to play all these new games on Ultra and 4K, then you're probably gonna be around the 1,200 to infinity. That's just it. Another thing is that when you buy a new PC, let's say you buy a new PC, okay? When you buy a new PC and you're like, yo, like I want to get like good stuff, you should, okay? You should really think about what you need and what you want. Let's say you have a 720p monitor and you only play League of Legends. You will never, ever need a 1080. It's just not, you're just not gonna need it. You're never gonna utilize this GTX 1080. Why? Because League of Legends on 720p is probably gonna be like what? 20% usage, 30% usage. Maybe you go up to 50% usage. Okay, you're never gonna need a 1080. It's just the thing. Okay, a lot of people are like, yo, like I just want to have like the best graphics card in the whole fucking world, but I have a 720p monitor and I only play League of Legends. Of course, if your budget allows you, go with the 1080, but you're not gonna need it. Okay? On the other hand, if you have a 4K monitor and you want to play Battlefield 1, you probably should consider being in around 1060. No, well, not 1060. Like if you have a 4K monitor, you should probably panel in between 1070 and 1080, maybe even 2. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if you want to upgrade your computer, that's a lot easier because you already have parts in. Let's say you have an i3 Skylake, you have DDR4 RAM and a 950 Ti, okay? You have amazing platform to work with, okay? Because if you have like an AMD 8350, you won't really be able to upgrade that. Like, as long as you like, the thing is, AMD is like now with the AM3 Plus, it's over. Like, you're able to upgrade a little bit, but you won't be able to get like that boom, yeah. So the thing is, if you work with AMD, I would highly recommend putting some bucks to the side, waiting till Ryzen comes up and buying Ryzen and the AM4 socket with DDR4 RAM and stuff. But if you have an i3 and you have DDR4 RAM, and let's say you're lucky and have PCI Express 3.0, you're golden. Okay, you're golden, because you can upgrade with the time. You can go like, Like, yo, like now I have like $300. I go with a new graphics card, because on a gaming computer, a graphics card is the thing that makes a difference. Of course, CPU is important too, but a graphics card is the thing that makes a difference. Okay. Of course, you can upgrade the graphics card on a FX 350, FX 8 350. Now that's it. Of course, you can upgrade that to a 1080 as well if you have the money for it. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like AMD is like AMD is like not that good. But let's stay with Intel. Let's say you have an i3, okay? You're like, yo, I have like $300. Let me go with an 1060, okay? So you buy the 1060, boom, you plug it in, you get more FPS, okay? Then 2 months later, you're like, yo, now I have like $300. You go with an i5, or even with an i7, you go a little bit overkill. You go with an i7, be like, yo, got that little i7 now, plug it in, boom, more FPS as well. Let's say you have 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, and 2 months later again, you're like, yo, I have like $120 now. I buy 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, okay? And the thing is, when you only upgrade, you can be like a little bit like, how to say it? You can have more time, but still get FPS boost, okay? Like, buy a new graphics card, you get a little bit more FPS. Buy a new processor, you get a little bit more FPS. Buy a new RAM, you get a little bit more FPS. But if you don't have like a PC now and you want to get your own one, then you have to buy a whole build. Like, you won't be able to just plug in with Intel you can go with the Intel integrated graphics, but you know what I'm saying, you can't just go plug in a new graphics card, like turn in and play games. Like, you will need a processor and a RAM module. But it's like, when you only want to upgrade, I would highly recommend like looking what you have in your computer. Like, when you have a Skylake i3, you can go like upgrade that to an i5 or an i7, depends on how much money you have. You can upgrade your graphics card, then you can upgrade your RAM after time, and in about a year or so, you will have like a good solid PC. On the other hand, when you like don't have a PC right now, you either wait and buy a new PC, or you buy a new PC now for like a little bit less money and have to upgrade next year then. But like, that's on you. You always have to look like, the thing is, for PC, no one in the whole world can give you, it's you in specific, right? You there that's watching right now. No one can give you a guide on what to buy. Because the thing is about PC, no one knows what you need. Do you have what monitor do you have? What games do you play? Do you want to play all the games in the highest resolution and the highest graphics, or don't you mind like turn down resolution and the graphics a little bit? It even starts with the case, okay? What do you want to have? Well, you want to have USB 3.0. How many USB 3.0 ports you want to have? Do you want to have like 2 fans, 3 fans? Do you want to have a 120 millimeter fan? You want to have a 140 millimeter fan? Do you want to have LEDs? Do you want to have front audio? What do you want to have? That's like all the stuff. And the thing is, you need to sit down and think about it. But videos like this are only like a little push in the right direction, so you know what to buy, okay? You get a little idea, so you don't spend money on something that is compatible. It's very, very important that when you want to build your own PC, that the parts are compatible. Of course, you can go with a pre-built PC, but that will cost a little bit more money, okay? If you build your PC yourself, it costs a little bit less. But of course, when something doesn't work, there's no one to blame. If you go to Acer and you buy their new Predator PC and it doesn't work, you be there, you're like, yo, like Acer, you fucked up, like something doesn't work. But if you buy your own PC, there is no one to blame, okay? And that's a problem. But that's why videos like this are on the internet. I'm also gonna link some videos, some very helpful videos in the video description down below. Make sure to check those people out. Their videos are also pretty good. It's not specific videos, it's gonna be channels. You probably have heard about the majority of them, But just so if you didn't, you can get like a little bit more of an idea, because they're like tech channels, so they're like more specific into this topic and they upload like specific videos of this. But like I said, make sure to check your CPU and what socket it has. Make sure to check your motherboard and what socket it supports. Make sure to check your RAM and what RAM your motherboard supports, okay? Because that are the three important things, okay? And make sure to check your cooler and what socket your cooler supports. If you check those four things, you already paid half the bill, okay? Because that are the most important things to be compatible. Of course, I mean every motherboard these days should have a 16 lane a 16x PCI Express slot. Like I think every graphics every motherboard should have that. But just to make sure, read, compare, and you're golden, okay? You also need to read by the case, okay? Make sure you have the right motherboard size. Make sure you have the right graphics card size. Not every case supports every graphics card size, okay? But I think it will be good. If not, then just go ahead, watch the most amount of videos you possibly can. Like, before I built my own PC, let me tell you, I've watched so many tech videos. So many, I swear to God. I've probably watched like almost every tech video on YouTube out there before I was able to build my own PC. But I would recommend you either building your own PC or really go to a website that let you configure your own PC, configure everything, and let it build by someone. But it's the most important thing that you really know what you put in there and that everything fits together. Because if not, and you build it yourself, there's no one else to blame. No one else but you. So, again, we go through the list. We have a CPU. Okay? For example, let's take my computer for example, okay? I have an i5-6600K, which is the overclock version, okay? You can overclock it. It runs on the LGA 1151 socket. I have an Asus Z170A motherboard. It supports the LGA 1151 socket. I have an Hyper 212 Evo cooler from Cooler Monster. It supports the LGA 1121 socket. I have 8 gigs of Hyper Fury X DDR4 RAM. Okay, 8 gigabytes DDR4 RAM. I have a motherboard that supports DDR4 RAM. Okay, but what you guys need to look at is what RAM speed supports your CPU and what RAM speed supports your motherboard. Because there's no way, there's no reason behind it to buy 2500 megahertz RAM and then your CPU and your motherboard only supports 2133 megahertz. It's a little bit money waste, okay? Make sure to check out the links in the video description down below. Those are amazing channels. They will help you so much. Guys, if you want to get your own PC, make sure to either watch my next video, which will be my PC, so you guys can go to Amazon, pick all the parts and get it yourself, or go to those other channels and then get an idea and build your own PC. I would say I'm gonna end this episode right here. Thank you, buddies, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, don't subscribe. It is cool. You will not miss any of my videos. Big buddy high five, big thank you, and goodbye.